What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Back of the Bench podcast. So today we're going to do our top 5 at each positions, part 2. Man, it's a lot of changes. Like just looking at my own, there's not a single position group from quarterbacks to safeties that I have the 5 in the same order. I think a lot of them had the same 5. I don't think I went that crazy. There is a few new names, new faces, things like that. But at the same time, I think I have generally the same players, just a few different spots. One guy I like more than another because of testing, maybe because of when I went back and watched, there was something I liked even better. Because yeah, I think in this class we're spoiled because I think there's a lot of guys that have like their trump cards like Xavier Worthy and his speed. That's something he got, right? And then you got a guy like Marv. I mean, what doesn't Marv have? Like, him not working out is something we're going to talk about, too, because I know that definitely affects the way people view him. But, yeah, so I think we should jump right into it. So, you want to go first with quarterbacks?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
so my quarterback rankings, so far, my top 5 has definitely changed drastically based off of the combine, pro days, and such.
And watching them, too, because I feel like for most of us, like, back when for me, you and Deere, when we first did our rankings back then, like, we were going off of what we saw watching them live playing college football. Yeah. Once you go back and you watch highlights and you watch lowlights and you go back and you watch specific plays and you're not just, casually watching them on TV, because when you listen to them announcers, they hype them up even more. Mm-hmm. Because a 7th round pick, if you hear their college highlights, those announcers were talking like they're the next Tom Brady.
Exactly.
That's just the way college football is. So I think for me, going back and really watching these guys and really understanding them changed my rankings.
So at number 1, I have Jayden Daniels. He jumped up. I think his pro day really solidified it for me.
Yeah.
He has a cannon of an arm. And I feel like he, in this new age NFL that we're in with quarterbacks wanting to be more mobile and still have that cannon of an arm and make the downfield throw, that's just kind of the perfect fit. If I was Chicago, I would take Jayden Daniels number 1 overall. Just me personally, I just feel like the size, the mobility, the arm strength, there's everything you want in a prototypical NFL
I gotta agree. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd like to see him put on a few pounds, but if you get him in an NFL regimen, they can definitely do that.
He takes a lot of hits, too, to be a small guy. That's one thing I don't like about him personally, but I love Jayden Daniels, too.
In the NFL, you could put somebody on a weight regimen. You can make them.
Kyler! Look at Kyler's body type now.
Right. And it's
Kyler bulked up, bro.
And it's different, too, because in college, you have to worry about classes. They're going to parties. The NFL, this is your job. This is your work. It's NFL all day, every day, 365. Yeah. So putting on weight, putting on some muscle for him would be a huge benefit. But I just feel like he's probably the clear-cut number 1 quarterback in this class, in my opinion. Number 2, I still have Drake May. I like Drake May because his floor is the lowest. Yeah. He could be the worst quarterback in this class, or he could be the best quarterback in this class, and we have no idea. It depends on, 1, the system he gets drafted to, 2, who's going to take the shot on him, and 3, what weapons can you build around him. But
we're just going. I think where he goes matters so much more than any other quarterback in the class.
I think Drake May can overcome a lot of the downsides in his game because of the ability to just put the ball wherever he wants to. Yeah. Obviously, we've talked about it a ton during these podcasts. He reminds me of Josh Allen almost night and day. And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Josh Allen. I think he could be, but he just has the confidence. He can make all the throws. He doesn't have the mobility that Josh has, but
so that's why I think Justin Herbert is the best. Justin Herbert's the best comparison for him. Because when Justin Herbert was coming out, he was coming out with Tua. He was coming out with Burrow. He was coming out with guys where we're like, Justin can easily be the worst out of these guys.
Yeah.
But, if he goes to the right place and the right system with the right guy, Justin Herbert can flourish. And I think he has. I think, obviously.
Well, I disagree. I think that Justin Herbert succeeded despite the system that he was drafted.
No, exactly. But I'm saying he did have talent at the wide receiver position. It's gone now. They were banged up. They were getting older, but he had the talent out there, and I think he excelled with the talent. Yeah. With fucking Joshua Palmer and fucking Austin Eckler. I think he made all them guys better. I think that's what quarterback has to do. Yeah. I think that's what quarterback has to do. Yeah. And I think Drake can do it.
I think Justin Herbert got Gerald Everett paid. Gerald Everett's a good tight end, but is he as much as he got paid by Chicago? Who knows?
Not at all. Same thing with Eckler.
Yeah.
Eckler's got paid by the Commanders, and we're like, Eckler's the slowest running back in the league.
He's the slowest running back, and he fumbles a lot. That's too bad. That's too bad formula for a running back.
And he was RB1 in fantasy the year before last, just
true.
because of his quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that.
He does
that
catch the ball in the backfield well.
Yeah.
Now
I love
number three, I will concede. I have Caleb Williams. I think his pro day really opened a little bit of eyes for me. He worked out. He worked out well. He looked good. I still don't think that he is this absolute number one can't miss prospect. I don't think that he is just this, next great QB. He could prove me wrong, and I admit when anybody proves me wrong.
For sure, we open to be proven wrong.
Exactly.
Like whenever we're lower on somebody, that doesn't mean like, man, I hope they flame out. No, it's just like I don't see what y'all see right now.
Yeah.
But like, I hope he makes me see it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't care what you were doing in the Pac-12.
Right.
I want to see what you're gonna do in the NFC North. Right. That's why I want to see what you're gonna do. You know.
And I don't think that. I just don't think he's got all the tools there yet. Can he develop them? Sure, anybody can develop them. We've seen quarterbacks that were not highly touted prospects coming out.
Brock Purdy.
We just talked about it. Josh Allen. Josh Allen was, the fourth quarterback taken in that class?
Yeah, he was out of Wyoming, bro.
Yeah, out of Wyoming. We've seen quarterbacks overcome a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think there's a lot to overcome there with Caleb. But I do think he's the third best QB.
You think that the climb might be too much for him. You're not saying he don't got the talent. Yeah. You just think that where they're putting him up on a pedestal, it's going to be so hard to reach that. Not that he's not going to be a good quarterback. It's just you're not about to buy into what they're selling.
Right.
That's what
I think that he's going to get the case of a Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen wasn't the worst quarterback in the world, but it was where he was selected in the draft. And the situation he brought into that really killed his draft stock. You got to say, secondly, you look at Baker Mayfield. It wasn't where Baker Mayfield was drafted. Baker Mayfield was not the number one quarterback in that class, and a lot of people said that going into the draft.
For real.
And the Cleveland made a huge shock, and it ruined his reputation.
I think he's a $100 million quarterback now.
Right.
He's a $100 million quarterback now. Not on that team no more.
Yeah, exactly. With a different team. His fourth team.
And they had the lowest, so out of all the teams, that was the team that had the lowest expectation for him. Like, come on, man, we're just going out there, we're just going to play. He took him to the playoffs, won a playoff game. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Like I feel like it's so much easier to perform under those circumstances.
They were on the Tom Brady hangover, and he outperformed what they were expecting.
For sure.
And I think that Caleb's kind of could be in that situation. That's kind of where I see him at right now. Is
I respect that.
They putting him on such a high pedestal that that if he doesn't live up to the expectations, it's gonna kill his career.
Yeah.
At 4, I still have Michael Penix. I know a lot of people are a lot down on Penix. I've seen Penix even go in the second round in a lot of mocks.
He will.
I think that the accuracy is just something you can't teach in football. That is you can train an arm, you can gain weight, you can get quicker, you can get a better football IQ, but putting the ball exactly where you want to put it as soon as it leaves your hand, that's just something that you can't teach. It's one of those skills that if you can, it's very, very hard to master.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I just feel like the tools that he has, he can build upon that, and he already has the biggest tool you need, and that's accuracy at QB. Now, do I think I think he's the fourth best quarterback on this class. I think he goes later on in the first round, maybe 12 to Denver, could be potentially, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think he goes round 1.
You're right, and I can see that. But I'm saying he has.
I think
the
he's
tools
Vegas
you
round
want
2
to start with. He has the number one thing that if you're wanting to develop a QB, he has the number one thing you want, and that is he can put the ball wherever the hell he wants. And then at number 5, I have Bo Nix. I still am very high on Bo Nix. A lot of people have kind of fell off on the Bo Nix train. I think that Bo Nix can be. Bo Nix reminds me of Alex Smith, who one of those QBs that got put in that situation. He was on a higher pedestal than he really played.
He was never a terrible quarterback.
Exactly.
Never.
I think Bo Nix is a really good QB that can win you playoff games and could potentially take you to a Super Bowl if you have the correct unit around him. That's somebody that I see him being. I can see Bo Nix playing in an NFC Championship game, and with a talented roster around him. I can see it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my top 5 QBs.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump into mine. We do have some differences. So my number 1, I'm still riding with Caleb. You know, I think thinking about Caleb Williams for me is there's not a better quarterback I've ever seen in my life better out of structure. You know, like when the play breaks down, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but you know, when plays break down, you need a quarterback that can find a way to make a play, and that's when Caleb Williams is at his best. Okay. My personal, so I don't think Caleb Williams is a can't miss prospect. I would take him number 1 overall. I would if I needed a quarterback, but I don't think he's the best prospect in the class. I'm really high on a few other guys. I think I'm way higher than everybody on Dallas Turner. that's a guy I would take number 1 overall. I would take Marv number 1 overall. I'm really high on a few guys.
Wow.
But if I need a quarterback, I'm taking Caleb first. If he's on the board, don't get me wrong. And it's because like he didn't have the opportunity to just make layups. He didn't have opportunity to take a 3-step drop and fire. His offensive line was terrible.
Yeah.
His wide receiver core was. It wasn't the worst in the country, right? I love Taj Washington. He's a big play threat. He's a guy. He's gonna go day 3. He's early day 3. He's probably gonna be a round 4 pick. He's a big time playmaker. Brendan Rice. I think Brendan Rice has a lot of tools to be a great wide receiver, but he wasn't that yet.
He's a third round guy. Yeah.
He's a 3rd round guy. He wasn't like all the other quarterbacks we're talking about. Man, they had somebody except for Drake May, which I'm gonna get into him in a second. But the rest of the quarterbacks, man, they had somebody. They had 1st round talent. They had 2nd round talent. They had top guys in the entire draft class.
Yeah.
So you drive Caleb Williams to the Bears. Their offensive line is above average, right? If a play breaks down, I'm terrified of what Caleb's capable of. And he'll have more layups in the league, so he can look a lot better. That's how I felt about C.J. Stroud, right? C.J. Stroud had a ton of layups at Ohio State. They had a good great offensive line for college. I mean, you had 2 top tackles in the entire country on the same offensive line, and then you had a center that also went round 3. Like they had a great offensive line, and then his wide receiver core. Great as well. He made nothing but layups. So everybody was like, I don't really know about him. You know, I don't know what he could do out the pocket. Against Georgia, he showed what he could do out the pocket. He's in the league, and now it's like he's a top 3 quarterback in the league, in my opinion. So, I mean, you know, like, it's crazy how we knock guys for having layups, but then we don't praise the guys that look good as fuck without him. You know, that's my thing about Caleb is he didn't have none. Like, when you watch him, he had no layups. Everything was way harder than it had to be for any other quarterback, and he still made it do what it do. My number 2 is still, I'm riding with Drake May. I'm not low on Jane Daniels by any means. I'll get to him, but like with Drake May, I see the prototypical all-star quarterback. Justin Herbert's a freak of nature. Josh Allen's a freak. When Big Ben was in his prime, he was one of the best to ever do it. I mean, you see those guys that have a ton of confidence in their arm, that believe they can make every single throw. In my opinion, though, I think Jaden Daniels is is going to go number 2 to the Washington Commanders, and that's going to hurt Drake the most. Because I love Drake May. I think Drake May could be the best quarterback in the entire class. That's why he's number 2 for me. I think he could easily be better than Caleb Williams any day. But you send him to a wide receiver core of Tyquan Thornton, Pop Douglas, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kendrick Bourne. He gonna make them better. I'll tell y'all this right now. Hunter Henry, those guys, buy their stock in fantasy. They're gonna be a lot better. But in my opinion, that's way worse than every other quarterback. Also, it was what they're gonna get. So that's what I wouldn't want to go.
Before you move on, can we go into this notion and realize that C.J. Stroud is an anomaly in the NFL? Rookie QBs do not always perform like C.J. Stroud.
There's only been 2. Since 2 lately, and Herbert with his 30+ touchdown season, and then Stroud.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2,
right.
but Herbert didn't make the playoffs like Stroud did. Stroud
let's think
different.
about this before, exactly like you're saying, Drake May, if he goes number 3 and gets into a system like New England without that type of weapons, and they go out there and they win 4 games and he throws,
like Bryce
19
Young.
touchdowns and 11 interceptions, let's relax and give this guy a chance.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just wanted to say that because a lot of people are, like you said, everybody's out on Bryce Young. He's a rookie.
Bro, and what the fuck did he have? Bro, okay, Adam Thielen is not a separator, right? Adam Thielen is a sure-handed receiver. He doesn't get the separation. Then we got Deontay Johnson. That's a fucking separator, right? That's the guy that's going to get open. He's going to be a quarterback best friend. Now him and Thielen are a nice duo, but now you go get your X, right? Like Deontay Johnson has been an X in his career. He has done it at a high level. He isn't a 1,000-yard receiver. He's done it. But he's 27 on the last year of his contract. At the pick 33, Keon Coleman might be on the board. Your Troy Franklins, your Xavier Legette, your Adonai Mitchells, your Brian Thomas, your Lat McConkeys. Go get somebody like that. Yeah. A young guy that you could develop into your X while you have a Deontay and Adam Thielen that first.
Yeah. And there's also still receivers out there.
And there is, right? You got Michael Gallup still out there.
Yep.
You got Odell, Tyler Boyd. I mean, you got guys out there that are veterans to also help a young guy out. So in my opinion, they should take a wide receiver at pick 33. There's going to be a slew of them still on the board. There's going to be a lot of guys who are like, how the fuck they didn't go round 1?
Right.
But they got the offensive line. Your right and left tackle are set.
Yeah.
They're set. You went and paid hella money for some guards. You're good. Your offensive line is good. Bryce Young has a way better offensive line than he's ever had even at Alabama, okay? Wide receivers, that's where you're lacking right now. I like what you've done, but you got to do a little bit more.
Yep.
And the offense is set.
He's a really good third receiver, but
he's
not a number 2.
And Deontay is a above average number 2.
Yeah, let's go back to the rankings. Let's get back to the rankings. We go off topic too easily. No. I was just making the point that don't give up on a rookie. Yes,
because
exactly. Don't give up.
Drake May isn't gonna look great if he goes to Patriots. He's gonna look. I mean, he's gonna make those guys better.
A rookie contract is 4 years for a reason.
Exactly. So
for a reason.
So in my opinion, man, I think the Patriots suck, and they add one of these top wide receivers coming out next year.
Yeah.
He's set, or pay somebody, trade for somebody. You know what I mean? Like, they're not out the water yet.
They don't put players on a rookie contract just because they don't want to pay them. They put them on a contract for a reason.
Yeah.
They have to get adapted. Most people have to get adapted to the league before they perform well.
I think so. So my number 3 is Jane Daniels. I think he's coming in the league with the highest floor. Y'all know me. I value athleticism at the quarterback position. I think if you're an athletic quarterback, you're instantly giving your offense a leg up on any other team. I think the pocket passers are rare. I think the Joe Burrows and C.J. Strouds, I think those are rare, way more rare than your Jane Daniels and your Lamars. No. I mean, there's not a quarterback in the league that can't move no more. Now, like Aaron Rodgers is old and he still can move better than what Tom was moving. Tom, Big Ben, those are the last of the can't move era.
Yeah.
Every single quarterback in the entire league can move.
I agree.
And I mean, but in my opinion, like I said, Justin Fields. I mean, I'm not trying to bring him up just because he's Steeler. I'm talking about his Chicago days. He made that offense above average, right? He did. Why? Because he can run. Their offensive line was terrible. The weapons were terrible, but they still were an above average offense out because of his legs. That's what Jane Daniels is bringing to the league. Jane Daniels is going to bring you an above average offense no matter what, right? It's up to you to build around him to set him up to be a successful quarterback. Now, Washington, I like for him the most, right? Washington is where I want Drake May and Jane Daniels both to go. Whoever lands there is set, right? But I don't want either of them to go to the Patriots, but if I had to choose one to go to New England, it would be Jane Daniels. I think Jane Daniels coming in with his legs, I think that will elevate the play of his wide receivers because he's going to be such a threat to run the ball that the defense is going to play for that instead of just trying to stop his wideouts. Plus, they have a lot of speedsters and deep threats, and I mean, Jane Daniels, I mean, shit, you can say he got the best deep arm in the class for real.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, so I'm really, like, here's my thing. I'm high on Jane Daniels. I'm not low on him at all. But to me, I think his floor is the highest. But if I had to pick between Caleb, Drake, and Jaden, I'm picking Jaden last because of what the ceiling of the other two are, in my opinion. But once again, this is such a great quarterback class that I think all top 5 can be Pro Bowlers one day. Can win playoff game. Not all of you guys are going to hit that way, but I think all of them had that potential. My 4 is J.J. McCarthy. I ain't buying on the hype. He's young. He can make the throws. I mean, here's my thing, right? When it comes to J.J. McCarthy, his biggest knock is, they ran the ball a lot. Okay, yeah, they did. That's fine. But when he threw the ball, he made some of the best throws in the entire country. Some of the tight window throws he had to make against The Ohio State University, against the Bamas, bro, he's a national champion at the end of the, like I understand winning isn't everything. Caleb didn't win nothing, but he's my quarterback one. But you have to make big throws in those games. And every single time J.J. McCarthy had to make a big throw, he did. He never fumbled the bag. I never saw J.J. McCarthy fumble. He doesn't fumble. He's made for those big moments, things like that. He had a great offensive line and a really good college football running back. And obviously a great defense. I'm not saying he's the only reason they won. Of course not. But at the same time, man, he can make all the throws, right? He's an accurate guy. He's ballsy at times. I mean, one throw I saw, I think it was against Minnesota, not a great team, but he rode all the way right, was outside the numbers, and threw it back across the field to the other side of the numbers. No other quarterback's making that throw. You're taught not to do that. You never roll out and throw across your body. It's one of the dumbest throws in the game, and he did it for a 70-plus yard touchdown. But that's one play. I like J.J. McCarthy. I think he has arguably the highest ceiling. He's young. Hasn't played as much as the other guys, but I mean he has all the tools to go to the right team. I mean, if Minnesota's going to go up and get him, I think he's going to be the guy that's going to shock everybody. He's going to be the guy we're like, whoa, what the fuck, J.J. McCarthy? Because he's going to have Justin fucking Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the game, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hockenson, a good offensive line. Aaron Jones is his running back who can catch the football. He has everything around him to be good. He goes there, he's gonna look pretty fucking good. And while everybody else is going through the rookie struggles, he's gonna be the Brock fucking Purdy that's just chilling, making the throws. The Kevin O'Connell scheme is so quarterback friendly, bro, that he's just gonna be able to sit, chill, dink and dock all game and look above average like he did his whole entire college career. So, but once again, I mean, I think he has a high ceiling because I think he's so young we haven't got to see much from him. You know, he can easily be this year's Zach Wilson. Easily, right? I mean, Zach Wilson came on late, right? Zach Wilson pro day was incredible, right? But the one thing, Zach Wilson was always quarterback too. Let's not say he wasn't, right? He was always over Trey Lance. Trey Lance sat out an entire year, right? And also he was the Division II quarterback. He was always above him. And then Justin Fields was was 3, right? In my opinion, I think most people had him as 3. Then everybody just fell in love with Trey Lance because the Niners wanted him so bad, and then everybody started seeing things of him that wasn't there, and that's how things happen. Now my five is Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix has the best. I mean, he broke the college football record for the most accurate quarterback in college football history. He's also he's not a developmental guy. Bo Nix is not coming to your system. You don't have to develop him at all. He started the most games out of any college quarterback in history. He's played the most games out of any college quarterback ever, right? And he's the most accurate college quarterback ever. You're getting a guy that's accurate, that's smart with the football, that can make the deep throws, that can throw outside the numbers, that can do everything you need him to do. And yeah, that's why I think he's going to come in. He goes to the right system. He's going to elevate his team, elevate his players, and he's going to be a damn good NFL quarterback. Now, is his ceiling as high as the other guys? No, that's why he's 5, right? But at the same time, the reason why I have him above Michael Penix, Joe Milton, and those guys, because his floor is way higher. I think Michael Penix misses too many layups. He had a lot of layups. He had some great wide receivers. He had top 3 round wide receivers. Rome Odunze, who's top 5 top 3 wide receivers, top 2 depending on where you put him. He had Jalen McMillan, another top wide receiver. Jalen Polk, another top wide receiver. All these guys are going to go pretty early. Rome's going to go top 10. McMillan's going to go. Polk's probably going to go top 50, and McMillan's going to go top 100. So these are all guys that are really good. And yeah, I think throwing outside the numbers, he's the best in the entire class. I think Michael Penix throwing outside the numbers. I've never seen a quarterback with that level of accuracy outside the numbers on the back shoulder type thing. Maybe Joe Burrow, on those back shoulders, it's really, really elite. But at the same time, in the deep ball shit, he puts it up there. But at the same time, Romo Odunze led the entire country in contested catches. So, is a quarterback, is a receiver? They're too fucking good to tell. They both, the quarterback got to put it there, the wide receiver got to catch it. I think the deep ball and outside number shit, you could say Michael Penix is the best at that. But the slants, the over the middle stuff, I like his release, but it is a little wonky for the short stuff. It's perfect for the deep stuff. But the wind up stuff like that, it just doesn't fit the quick ins, the quick outs, and things like that. But also, the reason I'm low on him is because who wants a left-handed quarterback they got to change their entire system for? Right? He's not going to be drafted to walk in and be anybody's quarterback one. Michael Penix isn't. He's not. No disrespect to him. I think he should be. I think he should be valued that way. But if you're bringing him in to be your quarterback 2 for now, whatever you want to do, let's say he goes to Seattle, whatever, right? Your quarterback goes down, the whole offense has to change. You have to flip everything. Everything has to go to a different side, everything, because he's a left-handed quarterback. Everything has to change. That's why, maybe the Dolphins take him. They're not going to take him round 1, So I think Michael Penix is going to be, he's going to be the Will Levis. He's going to be the guy to fall at the first round, and teams are going to do what they got to do to go get him. I like him going to Vegas, things like that in the second round. I think he's better than that, but that might be the sweet spot for him. And we all know, sometimes guys aren't bad, it's just where they're taking. You're taking number 1 overall and you put up the same stats somebody taking 60th. We're going to act like the guy that took a 60th is better than you just because of where he was taken. So I think it will work out better for Michael Penix. But at the same time, I'm weary. I think all the quarterbacks can go. I think 6 can go round 1. Because are we sure Vegas is going to start Gardner Minshew? Are we sure about that? Are we sure the Broncos are going to go with Jarrett Stidham? Everybody's mocking Bo Nix to the Broncos. Maybe they don't. Maybe they take Michael Penix, and then at 13, the Raiders are like, oh, Bo Nix is here. Oh, we have him as our 3rd best quarterback. Let's go ahead and take. You know what I mean? Like you never know. All those quarterbacks can go early. But at the same time, that's why I'm big on trading down for them, because I don't think no team after the Vikings, Broncos, Raiders are interested in the quarterback round 1 at all. I don't think a single one are. So I think that the easiest thing for them to do is, why not move down? Why not get more capital? Because you're going to get that guy later. And we'll get into that in the mock draft. So I'll start off with my running backs. This has changed completely. I'm on the Jalen Wright hype train. I see the Alvin Kamara stuff. I do. I see the shiftiness. This is one of the. This is arguably the worst running back class we've ever seen as a whole. Not saying that players are bad. There's not a single RB1 in the class. I think if any of them will be RB1, it will be Jalen Wright. I think he gives you it all. I think he gives you the pass catching. He gives you shiftiness, the break tackle ability, running in between tackles. He gives you it all. Really explosive athlete. Had the best combine out of every single running back there is. The hype train is big, and I jumped on it. My number 2 remains Bucky Irvin. I just think his balance, his contact balance, his pass catch ability, I think is above, well above average. I think it's elite. I think he's probably the best pass catcher in the entire class, and with his size, speed combination, I think that teams are going to really, really value that, and he'll be utilized pretty well on some team. My number 3, Jonathan Brooks out of Tennessee. I mean, out of Texas. Well, no. Yeah, Texas. Yeah. I get him Jalen Wright mixed up. But, yeah. So, I mean, he tore his ACL, but before that, he's different. Like, you don't see him run full speed. Like, he jogs, he sets things up, then he hits it, right? Like, he's different. You know, before he obviously tore the ACL, that's why he's a little lower. But at the same time, I mean, he could be the best running back in this entire class. I like him a lot. But, I mean, at the same time, I'm not taking none of these guys with a top 3 round pick. I'm just not. You know, these are, in my opinion, I think a running back shouldn't go till day 3. Realistically, because, I mean, the class is just that bad. I'm all in on all these guys if we're talking 4th round, maybe late 3rd. My 4th, Braylon Allen. I think he has the highest ceiling in the class. I think that the size, speed, breaking tackles, jumping on. I mean, he has it. He could be a hog for some team, right? He can get drafted somewhere, round 3, round 4, and just be an absolute moss, right? Just running guys over, goal line guy initially, and I think you could develop him. He's so young. He's only 20 years old. You could develop him into whatever you need him to be in the league. And we talked about it last time. I mean, I like him a lot because the biggest thing about running backs is all the tread on the tires. He has none, right? I mean, he still has all the tread you could think of because he hasn't been hit much. He came out at 17 years old. Played at Wisconsin, you know, so the ceiling is really high on him. The number 5 is Trey Benson from Florida State. I think when Jordan Travis went down, the reason why they remained undefeated is not because Keon Coleman, because he fell off the face of the earth. The backup quarterback wasn't great. Johnny Wilson is not that good. The tight end is really good, and the running back. Those are the 2 guys that kept the team afloat because the quarterback wasn't a deep thrower. So you had that tight end and that running back leading that entire offense to being undefeated. So I do value him. I think he could be an RB1 eventually. But they're just such an underwhelming running back class, especially off of last year. It's like you had 2 of the top 5, arguably, running backs in the league come out last year. Like, those 2 are both elite. And yeah, there's not a single Gibbs or Bijan in this class, but that doesn't mean any of these guys won't develop or won't turn into something. Because they always do. There's always somebody. Mm-hmm. There's always somebody.
All right, so for me at number 1, I have Bucky Irving as my number 1 back in this class. My thought process there is he reminds me a lot of not gameplay wise, but just in general, he reminds me of Jamal Charles. And I say that because he can make a play out of anywhere. Yeah. Like, you know, it could be 3rd and 9, and you throw him a screen pass, and he takes it 45 yards to the house. Yeah. You know, it could be.
Well, he does.
It could be 1st and 10, and he breaks a 22-yard run off and breaks a couple tackles along the way. So, like you said, I don't think there's anybody in this class in the running back room that
will not walking in number 1 running
game
back.
Changer. Day 1, but Bucky Irvin is your solidified. He could be your Isaiah Pacheco in terms of you draft him late and then he ends up becoming your number 1 guy.
Yeah. Jaylen Warren for Pittsburgh. You know, it happens all the time.
Yeah. At number 2, I got Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. I know he did tear his ACL, but I think his gameplay, he reminds me a lot of Le'Veon Bell, somebody that just waits and is patient, hits the holes that are there, has great vision. Like you said, he sets things up. He waits for his blocks to happen. He's not somebody that's just gonna take the first thing he sees. He's gonna wait for his best opportunity.
He was in a pass first offense and was turning them into a running team because of how good he was.
Yeah, exactly. At number 3, I have Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. Like you said, he's quick, shifty, speedy, just somebody that can make a play.
Yeah.
Good hands out of the backfield as well.
He's a big play guy for sure.
Yeah, definitely a big play guy. At number 4, I have Braylon Allen. I think Braylon is out there, like you said, he's young and he's huge.
Yeah.
He's definitely somebody that can put a pound on a linebacker. He's a short yardage back.
I swear if he waited a year, bro, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I don't like when guys transfer out. I mean, I love when guys transfer. But I say I do value the guys that don't. But, like, if he would have transferred to a bigger school, a more competitive school, and we got to see him on more, you know, big, just bigger games, on bigger stages, always on television. He could easily be a guy that we're feeling so much differently about. But he was an entire offense by himself. And we got to value that.
I don't think he's going to be Derrick Henry, but he's like a Derrick Henry in terms of you are going to have to think before you hit him.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have a running back like that is always a benefit in an offense.
For real.
So you have to think about it just for a second.
At the very minimum, he's what? Latavius Murray, right? Just big guys running through guys. But he keeps getting fucking roster spots. by the way, y'all. Murray continues to get on rosters. He continues to play in big moments on playoff teams. Every time it's down the stretch on third downs, fourth and goal, he's always a running back in the game. So those guys are very valuable in the National Football League.
And then at number 5, I actually have Blake Corum. I think he's a good back. He's somebody that you can be your number 2. Somebody that can give you a good change of pace, can catch the ball in the backfield, can block. On pass blocking, he's just somebody that you could have. I think you can, if you snag him in the 4th or 5th round, it'd be a steal.
Yeah, for like Baltimore that has a big power back, you put him in behind him. Yeah, exactly. I like that.
So that is my top 5 running backs.
Yeah, I would. So I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but I would hate being Dallas or one of these teams that you're going to draft a running back because you need one.
Yeah.
Not because you can't, right? Like, okay, Cincinnati can draft a running back. They got Chase Brown. They got Zach Moss. They don't have to, but if somebody they value at a certain position, they can.
Right.
Okay, cool. You somebody like that is different. But if you're a team that's like, yeah, we got to draft a guy to come in and play instantly, this is the worst time. This is the worst class to do that with. But me personally, if I had to do that and they had to be my RB1, I'm taking Jalen Wright or Braylon Allen. I like Bucky Irvin and them a lot, but I like them a lot as coming in and being 2s. 2 running back sets. If I had to pick one guy to come in and play that Pollard role, I'm probably going to pick Jalen Wright or Braylon Allen because I think they can handle it.
All right, so we're moving on to, hold on, before we're at 31 minutes. Are we doing just the offense or are we doing every position? Because we're already 30 minutes in. I don't know what you want to do.
I mean,
because we also got to do the mock too. So I didn't know if you wanted to do offense and do defense next week, or if you wanted to do.
I would say we could try to squeeze it out if you want to. Let's get to wide receiver tight ends and see where we're at.
Okay.
All
right. So we'll wait till 30.
All right.
So you got to cut.
I got you. 30. Ooh.
All right. So moving on to wide receivers, we're going into our top 5 wideouts. So at number 1, I think it's everybody's clear number 1. I believe Marvin Harrison. He's the best wide receiver prospect I've ever seen in my life. Now, you did make a mention earlier in the show that he did not test. And
he didn't test at all in it's not
pro day or combine.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on that. It made no sense for him to test. He is the clear-cut number 1 receiver, and testing would not have done him any favors. He's going to be the number 1 receiver off the board. If he tested good, what all of that was going to do is solidify he's number 1.
Yeah, that's what I said about Caleb.
If he tested bad, he could go down to number 2 and lose millions of dollars. There's no reason to lose millions of dollars when you're going to be the number 1 receiver. Yeah. I don't mind him not testing. He's going to go top 5. If he doesn't, it's a big shock.
Yeah.
But you're potentially losing money. You're putting money on the line for no gain. You're getting nothing out of it.
Yep. Sure.
Now, if he was him and Malik 1-1,
which it is to teams.
And it could be to teams.
It is. Like that scary thing is because coming out of the combine, like, Marvin Harrison was not the clear-cut wide receiver 1. And the crazy part is the teams that supposedly are not rumors, supposedly have talked to the Jalen Jeremiahs and those guys that don't have Marv clear-cut number 1 are the teams that are going to take a wide receiver first. Like Los Angeles and New York. Those are the teams that love Malik or all in on Malik or all these things, which I would still take Marv personally. We just don't know what they're going to do. And obviously it's their team, it's what they like, it's their flavor. It's all up to them.
And also, if he tested bad, he was going to lose the money anyway.
Of course. So there's no benefit to fucking testing.
Exactly.
I've always said that shit.
To not test.
If that's I agree with not testing. Like if you test. The biggest question
to make more money. If you don't have that incentive, there's no reason.
So in my opinion, the biggest reason. I'll say this too. Watching Marvin Harrison play, he's not 4.3. I'm gonna keep the buck with y'all. He's not 4.3 speed. He's not. In my opinion, Marv on tape looked like he's 4.5, right? But if he is, what does that matter? D-Hop is not fast. AJ Green was not fast. Oh, his player comps are not fucking speedy receivers. I think we're falling too much in love with the 4.3 guys. I think that's all the league is. Justin Jefferson's not 4.3 people. Jamar Chase is, right? A.J. Brown's not fucking 4'3". C.D. Lamb is not 4'3". These are not they're not burners. You watch Marv, he's going to create separation. He's going to do his thing. Now, don't get me wrong. He has the best hands in the class. Do you value the speed? Of course. If he ran and he was 4'3", shit, the Bears might not take Caleb, right? But at the same time, that is the knock for not running. Don't get me wrong. Could a team feel like, okay, yeah, I mean Malik, because Malik, it was questioned, how fast is Malik? How tall is Malik? Is Malik really 6 foot or is Malik like 5'10"? Because he didn't do nothing at the combine, so everybody had a ton of questions. Went to his pro day. Oh, he's 6 foot tall. Oh, he's over 200 pounds. Oh, he's 4'3". Oh, he's Jamar. Like literally, him and Jamar Chase, their testing are fucking identical. I think Jamar Chase weighs like 3 more pounds than him. Other than that, everything is the fucking same. The height, the speed, the burst, everything's the same about those two. So if I'm a team, maybe I'm like, fuck it, I'll take that instead. And I don't blame the team for thinking that way. It just depends on who they got.
Yep. At number 2, I do have Malik. I think he is the number 2 receiver in this class, and I think he's going to be a superstar in this class.
Yeah, bro, he's so different, bro. I like him and Marv. Like, if Marv stayed and wanted to win the championship, Malik would be, you know what I mean? He would be the clear cut. The way we view Marv right now is how we like Malik is something we've never like. He's the type of receiver like him and Jamar Chase. They're different. Like there's not another Jamar Chase.
Right.
The size, speed, after the catchability, like that shit is different. Like you're not gonna see that from guys their size. And the fact that we have another one coming in, I'm so high on Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. At number 3, I have Rome.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just the clear-cut number 3 receiver in this class.
Really good,
I think everybody kind of feels the top 3 are the same.
Yeah.
At number 4, I have Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a very solid. I see Brian Thomas as like a T. Higgins, where he's going to be a very solid number 2. Could be a number 1.
Yeah.
But
I think he could be an elite 2. Could be a number 1 on the team. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But 17 fucking touchdowns in a season is crazy.
That's crazy.
But I'll get to how I feel about him in a second. But I love him too, bro. He's so good.
Yeah. And then at number 5, personally, I have Xavier Worthy. I think the 4-2-1 just kind of boosts you up, in my opinion. In that,
Bengals fan.
Everybody after the top 4 are kind of, I don't want to say they're even playing fields, but they have all pluses and minuses to them. And when everything's even, I kind of lean towards speed more. And I think Xavier Worthy I think he's going to be in the right system. I think he's going to be like a Tyreek Hill. Not Tyreek Hill, but like a Tyreek Hill. Somebody that all of a sudden you just see the ball go flying in the air and he's 60 yards down the field behind the defense.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I like Xavier Worthy a lot. So with mine, bro, I have 14 wide receivers named. But my top 5... My number 1, Marvin Harrison. Him testing, it didn't hurt my feelings at all. Obviously, it didn't make me weary. Like I said, I've always had Malik Neighbors 1B. Like Malik Neighbors has always been on his heels. But like you said, I feel like if Marv would have ran and I saw a 4.45 or like a 4.5, oh, hell no, right? I would have winced a little bit. And then maybe that was enough to put Malik number 2. I'm not the only person. I mean, that put Marv number 2. I'm not the only person for that. I had no teams for the same fucking way. You test, you don't look like a freak like you do on film. You're gonna fall. Like there's no ifs, no ands. Same thing with Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman ran a fucking 4.6 his first 40. He was like, what the fuck, 4.6, right? And then he got like a 4.59, like bro. But I mean, when you watch him, the motherfucker can't separate. He's not burning people. He's not doing those things in Keon Coleman, right? Marv he's gonna get open, and if he's not open, we can throw that motherfucker up, right? Rare combination, rare wide receiver prospect, one in a million, right? He's number 1 for a reason. My number 2, Malik Neighbors. I've been riding the Malik Neighbors train since the summer. Like, since going into that year, Malik Neighbors is so fucking different. Like, once again, him and Jamar Chase are the perfect fucking comparison. Like, I mean, the Garrett, like, you talk about the route running and the getting open, and, like, he could do it all. Okay, you want a guy just run off to open up underneath? He could do that. He's fast as fuck. You want to just run a streak? He got that shit. Oh, you want him to run a dig? You want him to stop it? But he has every route in the bag. Then he's a guy that you just like Jamar Chase. You just want to get the motherfucker the ball. It don't matter if it's at 15 yards, 2 yards, -2. Get the ball in his hands. He's gonna make a play because that's the type of athlete he is. He's rare. They're rare. Every single time they come into the league, they're one of the best day one, and a team's going to take a chance on Malik Neighbors, and they're going to love him. My 3 is Rome Odunze. I saw a lot of Rome Odunze this year. I'm a big Pac-12 person. Now it's over. But I was a big Pac-12 guy, and I love everything I saw with Rome Odunze. I'm not lower on him than consensus. I think I'm just right. I think, the contested catches shit, I don't fucking like. I value it. I watch George Pickens. George Pickens is my favorite wide receiver in football. I value contested catches. I think if you could do that at the rate that him and Rome Odunze can, you're just a rare receiver. And the difference between Rome Odunze and like a Keon Coleman, who's another contested catcher, Rome can get open fucking consistently, right? He's a guy that can be an X that you could trust to just get separation, get open. He reminds me of CeeDee Lamb. He really does. CeeDee Lamb's not fast. CeeDee Lamb's not don't like they're shifty as fuck. They're really good at deceiving the corner, setting the corners up, getting separation, and even if they don't got separation, they can make the catch. He reminds me a lot of the CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave type wide receivers. Now my 4, Adonai Mitchell. I think Adonai Mitchell probably the best route runner I've seen in this class. I mean, he's different. Like he has it. He has the I don't gotta run full speed every route. And he said that at the combine. Like when Steve Smith talked about him and how he talked, I gotta watch AD again. I gotta go back and watch AD because what Steve Smith sees, what I had AD as like wide receiver 6 for me. I watched him. Yeah, he jumped up the motherfucking board. He's 4.3 speed. He's 6'3". I mean, he gives you everything Brian Thomas can give you. Brian Thomas, that's my 5. The difference between Brian Thomas and Adonai Mitchell is Brian Thomas was asked to do one thing at LSU: run straight. He was not asked to run slant. He wasn't asked to run. We didn't get to see a route tree from Brian Thomas. But the motherfucker scored 17 touchdowns just running straight. You value that, okay? Because if you get him in the right fucking system with the right coaching staff, like with someone like Stephon Diggs, and him and Stephon Diggs are your 1 and your 2, oh my fucking God, right? He's going to eat in the league. So that's a guy I value a lot. But Adonai Mitchell, bro, he's probably, I mean, you could say he's the best route runner in the class, and I can't argue, bro. He sets guys up, the jogging, like, I think Terry Arnold and Kool-Aid McKinstry are 2 of the best corners in the class, and we'll get to them. But they could not fuck with Adonai Mitchell. And we're talking red zone, 5 and in. Couldn't fuck with him. He was getting wide open against NFL prospects. He's different. He's rare. Now, like I said, I think there's 14 guys. I'm not really going to go in depth about him. But I think there's 14 guys that are all should go the first 2 rounds. And obviously they're not. I don't think 14 receivers are going to go that high. But Ladd McConkey, elite separator, he gives me Antonio Brown vibes. Fast, gonna get open, gonna make a play. Xavier Legette, I'm really high on Xavier Legette. He gives me the AJ Brown size, speed, contested catch. Keon Coleman, I'm not too low on Keon Coleman. This isn't really in order. This is just guys I think because I think Xavier Worthy's better than Xavier Legette and Keon Coleman. But obviously, like you talk about Xavier Worthy's speed is elite, right? He's coming to the league, arguably fast player in the entire NFL. Super fast, super athletic, and he can run routes. That's the difference between him and John Ross, right? John Ross, you saw John Ross, he's kept the screens getting busy. Xavier Worthy's going to separate. Xavier Worthy can run routes with that speed. He's not just a speed merchant, right? He's not a guy that just runs straight. He was asked to run slants. He did have a full route tree. I like him a lot as well. Troy Franklin from Oregon, big on him. He's 6'3". He's really good against press coverage. He's going to get open, and he ran all the routes you could think of at Oregon. Ricky Pearsall, Pretty Ricky is a fucking dog. He is so fucking underrated. He's going to be really good. Roman Wilson, I love Roman Wilson. Michigan didn't pass enough. I feel like if he was somewhere like Texas, he was somewhere like Georgia, somewhere where they were going to really throw the ball, he would be a top 5 receiver in the class. Roman Wilson's so good. Malachi Corley, yeah, if Tyreek Hill and Debo had a baby, this is the player you get. Debo is, he's deep, man, he's a running back. Malachi Corley is a wide receiver. I mean, he's a running back that plays wide receiver. So good. You can get this guy fucking handoffs, jet sweeps, do whatever you want with him. He's so fast, so athletic. I love that player a lot. And then Javon Baker at UCF. We're talking about a 5-star wide receiver that went to Alabama, crowded wide receiver room. I wish he would have stayed, because if he would have stayed with your Jermaine Burtons and those guys, Jahmyr Gibbs led that team in receiving yards that 2022 season, right? If Javon Baker would have been there with the Bryce Young, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jermaine Burton offense, to the fucking moon he would have went. And then, especially this past year when you had Jalen Milroe and Jermaine Burton and those guys, I felt he would have easily been wide receiver 1, would have been one of the best wide receivers in the entire country. And I think that's what Alabama was missing, is a true number one wide receiver. Now he went to UCF, and him and Kobe Hudson were a fucking duo to watch out for. So I like him a lot too. I think these are 14 receivers that should go in the first 2 rounds of the draft. And that's why if you need a receiver, this is the best year to need one, because these are only 14 guys, and there's about 25 that are going to be different. That could be difference makers in the league. Now tight ends. My number 1 is Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, he can do it all, man. You want him to block, you want him to run a route, Brock Bowers can be your X on your team. He can be X. He really could. He can do it all. He runs real routes, real good tight end. My 2 is Jatavion Sanders out of Texas. Rare athletes. Every single tight end on this list is a rare athlete. They're different. They're not like nobody else. They're coming in the league. You're Jared Everest. They're not coming in, just to block it. These are all dogs, right? My number 3 is Jaheim Bell from Florida State, the guy I brought up earlier. When Jordan Travis got hurt, the offense completely changed. They leaned a lot on Jaheim Bell. Jaheim Bell had a great Senior Bowl. He looked really good. And then Trey Benson, the running back. Florida State leaned on them, and they led them all the way to an undefeated season, except the bowl game. But neither of them played in that game. No, my number 4 is Theo Johnson. I think Theo Johnson really put himself on the map with his out of Penn State. Really put himself on the map with the Senior Bowl and the Combine. I think watch it throughout the season. He was a pretty solid tight end. But it's the Combine, it's the drills, it's the Senior Bowl, it's the competitiveness that really jumped him up. I think everybody's bored. And my 5 is Cade Stover. I think Cade Stover is another rare guy with his athleticism, with his size. I mean, you could draft him. He could be your clear-cut blocker, and he can be in the NFL 10, 15 years. But he's a guy that can create separation. He's a guy that with the ball in his hands, he's going to run through guys. He's going to break tackles. He's a full tight end as well. This tight end class isn't as elite as last year's, but it's not one to be slept on. This is a real good tight end class. So if you're a team that needs a tight end 1, okay, that's fine. Shit, you can get one on day 2 with Jatavion Sanders or Jaheim Bell. Okay, you need a tight end 2, you can draft the same guys on day 2. You know, so I like this class a lot. I think that they're super underrated because Brock Bowers. I think since Brock Bowers is like last year, man, it was Michael Mayer, Kincaid, Washington, Laporta, they were all mixed in together. There was 7 guys that we didn't know who was tight end 1. Just because there's a clear-cut 1 doesn't mean the rest of them suck, bro. There's a rare one. That's all. It doesn't mean any of them are bad. Because the same year, Kyle Pitts was a clear-cut 1, you still had Pat Freiermuth in that class that went day 2. You still had good tight end. Just because somebody's clear-cut 1 doesn't mean the rest of them aren't worth talking about, you know?
So my number 1 tight end, obviously I have Brock Bowers. I think that's kind of everybody's number 1 tight end. He's just the prototypical tight end that you want. He's a little shorter than I was hoping he would be, but I still think he's the number 1 guy on this list. At number 2, I also have Jatavion Sanders. I just think that he was so effective in that offense. Just somebody that can make a play, and somebody that you're not afraid to throw the ball to. At number 3, I think we have the exact same top 5.
Hey, bro.
I have
They're
Jaheim
different.
Bell at 3, I have Theo at 4, and I got Cade at 5. But number 6, I have Dallin Hooker.
He's so underrated,
Colorado
bro.
State.
Oh, my God.
I like Dallin. I like the way he plays. I like the blocking ability. I like the ability to, to move with the football.
Yes.
Route running is there. That could be somebody that you take day 3 that is a very, very big difference maker in an offense.
Yes. I think another guy we're not talking about enough is A.J. Barner out of Michigan. A team is going to fall in love with that guy, right? 6'6", right? The size, the speed combination. He's going to go somewhere, and he could be the best tight end in the entire class as well. It's a good tight end class, bro. It's about 10 guys that could really all go in the first 4 rounds. There's some really good tight ends. But it's not a big position, right? It's not a premier position, and we'll get into that when we run through our mock. Now, my tackles, you can go first, your tackles.
Okay, so my number 1 tackle I have is Joe Alt. I think he's the prototypical left tackle that you just want to build your offense around.
Yes.
I think that he is perfect. He's perfect. What you want an offensive tackle to be. I think that his
athleticism scared me a tad bit, but he does everything so well. You don't need to be fucking Trent Williams, bro.
At number 2, I have Olu Fashanu. Okay. I think that Olu is somebody that came on late for me. But I just think that he has the tools that you want to see in your offensive tackle. It's somebody that the tackle is the second most important position in football. It protects the quarterback, your number 1 guy.
Yeah.
It's somebody that you have a lot of trust in. You have a lot of relying in.
Yes.
And he's somebody that just looks really good. And somebody that you could build a franchise around.
Easily.
At number 3, I have oh man, now I'm drawing a blank.
Talisa Fuaga.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Fuaga, that's Oregon State, right? Yep. Kid out of Oregon State.
Just a fucking anchor.
Yeah, I think Oregon State, that's a very interesting school to come from. Your Pac-12, they're not known for pass rushing a ton. They do pass.
They are this year, shit.
Okay, I'll give that.
There's a lot of good pass rush coming out of Pac-12 this year.
But I just think that he could be a solid right tackle in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think that he could be a franchise guy, somebody that you can just put on the right side, and he's going to lock the right side down, and you ain't going to have to worry about it. He's going to be somebody that you're just going to have to, let him be. At number 4, I have Amarius Mims. He's just a big fucking dude, man. Amarius Mims is huge. That's another right tackle. But I think that Amarius Mims is just an absolute mountain. You know what I mean? Somebody that you're not afraid. If you're a quarterback, you go out to battle for that with that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at number 5, I think I'm still kind of rocky about this. I still like J.C. Latham a lot. but he didn't test well.
Yeah.
And it scares the hell out of me. I think he's got a good ceiling, but we've known, in the past that not testing well really hurts offensive tackles really badly, and it shows a lot of times. I think he's still, somebody to make a name. He's somebody that you can take a shot on. He just scares me the most out of this class.
Yeah. Yeah, so I pretty much agree with everything. So my number 1 is Joel. I think Joel's the best offensive lineman in the entire class. I think he's top 5 player in the entire class as well. I like Joel a lot. I think he's the safest offensive line pick. I don't think he has the highest ceiling, though, whatsoever. I think out of all the tackles, I think Joel has the lowest ceiling, but his floor is so much higher than everybody's. So that's a guy I value. Like, what offensive line, I want the guy that's going to come in the best, right? Pittsburgh scared me. They really did last year. When we traded up and we took the most least experienced offensive lineman in the class with the 14th overall pick, I was terrified. I'm like, okay. He worked out, but they don't always. Evan Neal didn't work out. I mean, these guys that are just freak athletes, they don't always work out. I'd rather get a guy like Joel. I know he was going to come in for 10, 15 years and be a lockdown the tackle position, right? My number 2 is Olu Fashanu as well. I like Olu. Olu's been on everybody thought he was tackle 1 for the past 2 years. He could have came out last year, decided to stay and graduate. You love that for him. Unfortunately for him, no, he dropped to everybody's tackle 2 because Joel just had a phenomenal year. Because Notre Dame played a lot more noteworthy games this past season. They were on TV a lot. They played a lot of big teams. He played a lot of big-time edge rushers this year because of it. And he looked really good against your JT Tuimoloaus and those guys. He looked great against the best competition. And my number 3 Talisi Fuaga. I love him a lot. Once again, the Broderick Jones, the Trent Williams, just the maulers, the disgusting, the guys that you don't want to go against, right? Like, all offensive linemen you hate as a defensive player, but those are the ones that want to hurt you, that want to put you out of the season, right, for a season. Those are the guys that love getting their hands on linebackers and corners out in space. Your least favorite guys to go against, and I love him so much. I think he's so good. He might jump to my number 2 spot at the end of it. My 4 is actually J.C. Latham. J.C. Latham came out of high school the number 1 tackle in the entire country. He's been in the SEC, dominating all the best edge rushers coming out year in and year out. He's a guy that's he's never had a bad year. He's always looked great at Alabama. He's a really, to me, J.C. Latham should not fall to 18 or 20. He's too good to do that, and I think he will. And I think that's going to be the home run swing, right? I think if he goes to Cincinnati, he goes to Pittsburgh, he goes to one of these teams, right? Now, neither of them, to me, I think him and I have Marius Mims 5. I'll get into that. Marius Mims, J.C. Latham are exact opposites, right? Marius Mims has played 8 college football games. That's it. That's all. We've only seen Marius Mims at 8 games. That's all. That's even less than Broderick Jones 14, right? 8 college games. That's it. And he's looked at as a first-round pick. That's more scary than J.C. Latham. We've seen J.C. Latham year in and year out play national championship games, SEC championship games, college football playoff games, dominate, go against some of the best edge rushers in the country, give up barely any sacks, if any. He's looked so good in his college football career, but he's not a freak, right? Like he's where Joel is extremely difference between him and Joel is Joel's to left. That's the difference, right? Joel is at the more premier position than J.C. Latham. He's at left tackle that's looked that good. J.C. Latham's always been at right. That's why everybody values him a little less. But I think that drafting him is the same thing. I think J.C. Latham has the second highest floor in the entire class of tackles. I think it's Joel, J.C. Latham. He's been great against all the best in the entire world, right? When you think of edge rushers, you think of the SEC, and he shut all of them down when he was in college. I like him a lot. But he's played a fuck ton, though. He's played so much, bro. He was a 5-year starter at Alabama. Played a ton of football. Marius Mims, on the other hand, 8 games. That's all we've seen from Marius Mims, 8 fucking football games. Because of injuries, and obviously because he had Broderick Jones in front of him, he had Slayer in front of him, he had a ton of great talent at tackle in front of him. So we didn't really get to see that much of him. That scares me, but the tools are there. The size, the speed, the athleticism, he's ready. And in my opinion, he like where Broderick Jones came out, thought he was raw. Broderick Jones looked great this past year. Marius Mims' pass blocking is better than what Broderick Jones was coming out last year. But I think there's 7 guys that should go round 1. 6 for me is Tyler Guyton. I think out of Oklahoma. I think Tyler Guyton reminds me of last year's Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma as well. So, left or right, put him anywhere you want to. Fucking dog, bro. But he's a big motor clay. Him and Emarius Mims are the same for me. I think they're guys that you bring them in. They're not going to start day one for you, and you can mold them into whatever type of tackle you need them to be. You want them to just be a stalwart left tackle that can block, that pass blocker that can do that. You want to be a mauler left tackle or right tackle that could do that too. So I like those two a lot. Now my number 7 is Troy Fatanu. He's a fucking tackle. Everybody kept talking about him going to guard, me included. When I saw that arm length was over 33, I'm like, okay. And his athleticism, he's arguably the most athletic tackle in the entire class out of Washington. That's a fucking tackle. He's not a guard. He's going to go round 1 or very, very early round 2, and he's going to play tackle in the Announced Football League. The difference between him and Skoronski is Skoronski had 32-inch arms, little arms. Now just got that, bro. The arms are there. He's ready to be a starting tackle in the National Football League, and he will be. Now, inside offensive line, my number 1 is still Jackson Powers-Johnson. I think he's the second best offensive lineman in the entire class behind Joe Alt. Now, reports have came out that the NFL doesn't value the centers as much as we thought. So all the mock drafts that have Jackson Powers-Johnson going 16 to Seattle, 18 to Cincinnati, 20 to Pittsburgh, they don't believe that's the case. They believe he's a very late day 1 guy or day 2 guy. Zach Frazier out of West Virginia is my number 2. Fucking dog, bro. I mean, great center. Like, another guy I think you can move to guard that's really good, a fucking mauler. Number 3 is the guy I think the NFL is valuing right now. I think Graham Barton, when he came out of high school, he was a center for Duke, one of the best centers in the country. Then his junior year, he played right guard, really fucking good at right guard. His sophomore year, he did. Junior year, he played right tackle. This past year, he was at left tackle for Duke. He played every single position on the offensive line pretty much. So he's a guy you draft. You can trust him at center. You can trust him at right guard, left guard, right tackle, left tackle, wherever you want him to play. And teams are going to value that because he was good at all of them. Now he had the best RAS score, which is relative athletic score out of any offensive lineman in the entire class. When you put him in as a tackle, he had a 9.8. When we put him in as a guard, he had a 9.9. And we put his athletic testing numbers as a center, he had a 10.0. A perfect score for his athleticism as a center. So I think that's a position that like a team like Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay can draft him, make him play instantly. So I like him a lot. I think he's very undervalued. For like me personally, that wasn't the guy I was talking about, and I saw everybody talk about him, so I looked into him. And he looks like he's gonna be a stud. My 4 is Cedric Van Pran. I think he slept on because I mean I don't know why he slept on, bro. I would take him with a second round pick easily. Just a fucking mauler out of Georgia. Like he's one of those centers that like you get him out in space. He's scary, bro. I mean, like all the Georgia offensive linemen are. They all are mobile. They all can move. They all pull. They all get out of space. They all kill corners. They all kill safeties. Cedric Van Pran's another dog on the interior. And I like Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State. He was supposed to come out last year, and he was everybody's number 1 guard coming out last year. He decided to go back, and it did hurt his stock because this year is just a plethora of great offensive linemen. But I think he's still going to go on day 2 and be somebody's great guard for 10, 15 years for sure.
For me personally, I do also have Jackson Powers-Johnson as my number 1 interior offensive lineman on the board. Yeah. I think that he's just everything you want in a staple for your center position.
I mean, 6'3".
Exactly. Somebody that you can trust to be the leader of that offensive line.
For sure.
At number 2, I also have Zach Frazier. I think he is a very good up-and-coming offensive lineman. Somebody that
he's a difference
can
maker.
Be a starter day 1. Yeah. And also somebody that you can help lead that offensive line. He's got the leadership qualities. At number 3, I have Ced Van Pran. I think that he is underrated and somebody that can be a big factor.
He's gonna be whoever takes him is gonna be a day 1 starter. I promise you. You're gonna take him on like round 3, and then he's gonna get there to rookie minicamp, but he's gonna be better than everybody out there. And he's gonna be okay. This is a dog right here.
At number 4, I personally have Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State. I think I value guards a lot. I love guards, especially guards that can pull, somebody that has the athleticism to get out there and make the blocks that you need him to make. I trust Cooper in that scenario, so I think he would be. He's the number 4 interior lineman on this list. And then at number 5, I personally this is more of a wild pick, but I think this guy is very underrated. I know he got hurt at the end of the year, but I think that he's going to fall because of that injury, and somebody's going to get one of the best guards in football, and they're not even going to know it, and that's Zach Zinter out of Michigan. He had that injury against Ohio State, got carted off, and I know that that may be a concern, but I think that his ability and the way that he performed in college, I think that if somebody's going to draft him in the 5th round or the 4th round, and they are going to get a top guard in this class,
hell yeah,
and in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's interesting that I'm like 95% sure Graham Barnes is going to be a first round pick, and he's not even in your top 5. So
Well,
that just shows how high you are on the other guys.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not him. I'm saying that like but I mean me too, man. I just like Graham Barnes because like this is a position that Pittsburgh needs. So I dive even deeper on those positions when my team needs these guys. That's why I'm big on wide receiver this year because it's a position my team needs. So. Like, I'm doing research on all the guys, and I mean, Graham Barton has it. You know what I mean? He's going to be taken on in the first round because he could be a tackle, he could be a guard. Like, just that versatility is enough to get him taken round 1. But yeah, I mean, Zach Zinter is a name that we're not talking about enough, and he's going to go pretty freaking late for his talent, and he's going to be talked about forever. That's for sure. So yeah, do you want to get into the mock?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait till.
Yeah, we'll start till the hour. Hold on, let's just.
I'm gonna have it.
That way you can cut it to where. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to jump into the back of the bench mock draft. We're going to do the entire first round of what we feel that these teams are going to do.
Yeah.
This is
not what we would do.
Yes.
This is what we think they're going to do.
Exactly.
So it'll be a little different. Real quick before we jump into that, there's two topics I want to talk about quickly. So Malik Neighbors is meeting with the Cardinals today, and he'll be with the Chargers tomorrow. And Ian Rappaport reported Neighbors is considered wide receiver 1 by multiple teams per sources and got rave reviews on his pro day testing and showing. So do not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, right? If the Cardinals, which we might do that today, trade out of 4, if the Chargers take Malik Neighbors at 5, right? If you're in New York, you're like... All right, I don't think it's gonna be as drastic as Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson, but I think it's gonna be that right. You're like, fuck, okay, we're sitting here, he's on the board, right? So I like that a lot. But I mean, I think he's good enough to be the number 1 wide receiver taken off the board. It's just Marv has been kind of the fucking staple of the position for 2-3 years now. So
he's gonna be the first ever 2,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, easily.
All right, so. Number 1 pick, I think we're both in unison on what the number 1 pick's going to be. I think Caleb Williams to Chicago is almost written in stone.
I've been preaching it before Justin Fields got traded. What team did I always say Justin Fields was going to?
Pittsburgh.
I said he was going to Pittsburgh. Even after we got Russ, I said, now listen, they still can get him. Did we trade Kenny Pickett? I'm like, now listen. And then 24 hours later, we get Justin Fields. So I've been on that hype train. You have to, right? You want your job. You want it. Like, here's nothing, right? There's something y'all out there. I bet y'all don't even know because most people don't look into this type of shit. Ryan Poles came from the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Helped turn that organization all the way to fuck around to a Super Bowl contender. That's why he even got the fucking job here. He was the head of scouting for the Chiefs before he went to the Chicago Bears. This is what he does, right? Drafts. This is his shit. This is what Ryan Poles does for a living, right? Is the draft, okay? He passed up on the C.J. Stroud. He passed up on the Bryce Young. He passed up on the Anthony Richardson last year to keep Fields. It blew up in his fucking face, right? Because just Fields got hurt and the team just wasn't that good. Fine. But they weren't the worst team. They were the 9th worst team. If they had pick 9, Justin Fields is still on the roster to this day. He's still the franchise quarterback. They made a trade last year to move down to 9 with the Carolina Panthers. Got the number 1 overall pick. If he was to pass on Caleb Williams yet again, and take Marvin Harrison, for example, at number 1 overall, and that team wasn't to make huge leaps and go to the playoffs and things like that and look really good, he would have lost his job. So this had to happen. So yeah, I agree. I think Caleb Williams, number 1 overall, easy.
Yeah, that's an easy pick.
Now number 2, I think Jaden Daniels is going to go number 2 overall.
This has been a lot of debate and a lot of going around, but I agree. Jaden Daniels is the prototypical.
It hurts my heart because I love Drake May so much, but
Jaden Daniels is going to fit for Cliff Kingsbury. That's what Cliff Kingsbury.
I love that a lot. Now here it is. This is a team that can move, right? Yeah. My opinion, I think they take Drake May. But I definitely think they could move down. I think the team that's definitely going to move down is Arizona. But so teams that want to move up, okay. Vikings, right? Do you think if you're the Patriots, do you think 11 and 23 plus more will be enough to move you from 3rd, guaranteed Drake May, all the way down to 11? And what quarterback do you get then? As of right now, you have Bailey Zappi and Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
So maybe your Knicks, maybe McCarthy, maybe those guys fall to you. But me personally, I don't think it's no. I think I stay pat. I think I don't answer the phone. I think I take Drake May here.
In my opinion, there's no other position left on that board unless you value corner higher than
Yeah.
you value needing a quarterback at this stage. If you believe in Jacoby Brissett, because that's really the only position you're going to get. You're going to lose out on your top 3 receivers.
You
You're gonna
might get a
lose out
top
on
edge
your
rusher there,
quarterback.
though.
You could get a top edge
But
rusher.
you have Judon, you re-signed Uche,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you got that position right
and
now.
yeah, and
you also took
now,
Gonzalez, number one,
it
your
depends
first
on
round pick
if
last
you
year.
feel like Jacoby Brissett is your guy. I
Or
just
Bailey
don't think
Zappi.
so.
I don't think that. I
Yeah.
think the Zappi Brissett quarterback room was perfect to bring in a rookie.
Yeah.
I think they set it up. So
So
you think Drake May?
Yep, I think it's Drake May at 3.
Now I think this team moves down. I think Minnesota comes up. I wouldn't do it from Arizona, but I know this is what I'm 95% sure this is where Minnesota's going to make the call. They're going to come up. They're going to give 11. So let's just see real quick. So Minnesota is where's the Vikings? I don't know. I see their emblem.
Right there, under Vegas. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I think they're going to come up 11, 23. Next year's first. All for 4.
But is that enough?
You want to propose it?
Move up. Yeah, go ahead.
It is.
Okay.
So now you come up. They take J.J. McCarthy. 4 quarterbacks straight. Now for the Chargers, you're in heaven
Yep.
because the number 1 player in the entire class is sitting in your lap, and Marvin Harrison. So do you think they take that over
Yeah,
Malik
I
though?
think they take Marvin Harrison.
Okay, so now boom, now with the Giants, I think this
Look
is
at
Malik.
all the or all the receivers that they had on their roster.
Yeah.
Not a single one of them was a speedy burner. They were all
Right, but
runners.
I'm saying Malik Neighbors isn't a speedy burner either.
That is true.
Is Jamar Chase a speedy burner? No.
No.
Right. So I mean, yeah. So I think I like yeah. That's why I don't look at him as a Tyreek Hill. He's a Jamar Chase. Like this, where I think he goes.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors goes here at 6.
Yeah, he goes to New York because here's the thing: you could say Joe Alt, but they paid guards, so it's okay. So they're bringing in starter caliber guards. So they're not going to move their 6th overall pick, Evan Neal, inside the guard.
Right.
So why would they take a tackle early?
Right.
They're not. That's what they're telling the world. Now, if you're Tennessee, do a lot. Coach Callahan, do a lot. You got your guy. Joe Alt fell right into your lap. Top 5 player in the
Now,
entire class.
yeah, I mean,
that's what I think they take care
yeah.
of. Because they paid Calvin Ridley. You got D-Hop on contract. You got a first-round pick in Traylon Burks. It's not the best wide receiver room, but it's a ton of capital into that shit.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't add another first-round pick here. I would add an offensive lineman because I think that's their weakest position on the team. Now the question is, do you think they value Joe Alt that high? I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So Joe Alt goes here. Now here, I'm higher on Dallas Turner there. I think Dallas Turner is a top 3, top 5 player in the entire class. I think they agree. Once again, I don't think wide receiver goes here.
The only thing I can see them doing is maybe taking Terrion Arnold out of.
Yeah,
Bama.
they
That's
could.
the only thing. They could take corner and to put across AJ Terrell.
We said that last year too, and like I was mocking that last year, but I mean, they went with running back. They caught us all off guard with the same pick at 8.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they go Dallas Turner because their secondary is their strength defensively right now. They have AJ Terrell, they have Jesse Bates. Their biggest weakness is they had no fucking pass rush last year. Absolutely none. You're getting a freak athlete to do it now.
Yeah.
So I like that pick for them a lot. That's what I think.
Definitely.
Now 9.
I think Rome.
Which is crazy to me because Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Jared Everett, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert, and above average offensive line. If Caleb Williams doesn't eat, bro, he's crazy. But yeah, I agree. Rome Odunze goes here. Now 10. This is another trade. I think Brock Bowers at this point maybe a tackle because the tackles they got are on 1-year deals and are older. But this could be also a trade down spot. Yeah. If somebody wants to come get Brock Bowers, or let's say Vegas wants to jump up in front of the Broncos to get their Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Or shit, maybe Indianapolis wants to come up and get Brock Bowers, or you have the Saints that want to come up and get Olu Fashanu, who's still on the board. I think this is a trade down spot. So what scenario do you think is more likely?
I like Brock Bowers here because
yeah, for sure.
I think that New York is all in, and that just gives Aaron Rodgers another weapon. And
for sure.
That's somebody, especially because they let go of CJ. They don't have a number 1 tight end on the roster.
Yeah.
They just signed tackles. They're signing defensive players. They're trying to bring in everybody to get Aaron Rodgers' return. I think they go with the weapon here.
I agree 100%. My only thing is, though, is that if they're offered something like you know what I mean?
Now, they're making an offer they can't refuse, but that's also do you make that risk if you're Vegas? Do you risk the farm for Bo Nix?
No, okay,
that's your only option
yeah,
there.
right. But my thing is, right, if I'm New York, it's not going to be the farm, right? I get more draft capital. I slide, okay, right, so
I'm
they
talking about Vegas.
Yeah,
you risk the farm to jump up to 10
Yeah,
to take
but-
Bo Nix.
you're not going to give up as much as what Minnesota gave up, right? Because you're moving up. Minnesota moved a lot faster.
Right.
So I think,
Right.
okay, yeah, let's look at it. What does Vegas have to give up to go to 10, right? So if they were to give up 13, 44, second for 10, and,
That's a lot.
no, I'm saying maybe a pick swap. Though. I'm talking about pick swap. so now you get an earlier second. Oh, you get it. They don't have a second. So now you give them a second this year, second next year, and you get the third. So something like a pick swap. I'm not saying they would
I
have
think
did
you get
this.
that done without the second, without the 25. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, but I think it is more enticing though. I think that's
Yeah,
if
but
I'm
you never
New York,
invest more than you need to.
I don't know.
Try
That,
without it and then see if you need it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So saying it's like, cause me personally, you gonna have to give me that shit too. Cause like, yeah, okay, yeah, do a little pick swap, cool. But at the same time, I need more than that. So, but they still might not accept this though, because if you're sitting like, damn, I'm still low-key giving up a lot. They do.
Okay.
Now they go up, right? They
Bo Nix.
boom. Okay. Now, if you're Arizona, now what do? You have Marv in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Now Marv's gone. Malik's gone. Rome's gone.
I'd take a corner.
Right? Do you take a corner? Do you take an edge rusher?
I'd take a corner because, well, you could take an edge rusher. I could see that too. You don't need a tight end because you have
Yeah. Trey McBride.
Yeah, Trey McBride.
You don't need a tackle because you just took one last year, 6th overall pick. You could upgrade the position, but I do doubt it. So Terrion Arnold is who I think they take, which is perfect for them. Now here, Brock Bowers, I think could go here, or do they go offensive line, right?
I think they could go corner as well because,
Which,
do you?
yeah, I mean you could help Pat Surtain out,
well,
but
Pat Surtain's been in trade rumors for all season.
yeah, but if you take another one, you're like there's not a single Pat Surtain's number one corner in the entire NFL. But you're not going to get another guy to that level in this class.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, Quinyon Mitchell and him paired up, elite. But the question is, you have no quarterback because now Bo Nix is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think, obviously, in my opinion, you wait for Michael Penix. Or you move down. You move down now because there's still great tackles on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think teams like Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Philly are going to sit there and just watch Olu Fashanu fall.
Right.
Or Fuwaka, in my opinion. They could take them, though. You could take a tackle here, too.
Yeah.
You really could. But I mean, if you want to, we can go corner. I like edge rusher there,
Well,
too,
they
though.
just paid McConaughey
Okay,
a
yeah.
ton of money
Yeah.
from Kansas City.
Yeah, okay. So I'm between edge and corner then. Or Brock Bowers.
Yeah. I mean, it could be Brock Bowers. It's just, I don't know, tight end just seems like a waste of a pick when you're sitting there.
Yeah.
With all the needs that you need on that team, tight
Yeah.
end just seems like
So-
a phone-it-in pick.
So right here, I think they go edge at this point. I think
Yeah,
I
I
think
see
the
that.
bar falls this way. I think they go Jared Verse.
Yeah.
Jared Verse.
Over Liatu?
Yeah. I think teams value him more. I don't, but I think teams value
Brock
him more.
goes here at 13.
Yep. But I don't know. I feel like Olu Fashanu, you could take him, bro. I feel like they would still take him.
Yeah, but it's the Jets. I think they're wanting to win now. I don't think they're worried about the future.
Okay.
You have a 40-year-old quarterback. They just signed a 36-year-old tackle.
Yeah.
I don't think they're worried about the future at the moment. They're
Okay,
worried
so I
about
agree.
trying to
Brock
win a Super
Bowers,
Bowl.
and I think Olu goes here. I think this stops the Olu slide.
Yeah.
Then I think he goes to the
With
Saints,
no
gets new home.
trade-offs.
Yeah, nope. I think Quinyon Mitchell goes here. If the board falls like this, I
Yeah.
think they take Quinyon.
Yeah.
He's their type. I like that a lot for them. Now here, I think this is where a defensive tackle finally goes off the board. I think they like Byron Murphy II a lot more. I think he fits them, so I think that's what they take. Is that what you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
17.
this is everything, right? I mean, I don't think they take another edge.
No, they don't need it.
Maybe not a tackle.
I don't think they need a tackle.
Brian Thomas fits. I like Brian Thomas. Maybe a Kool-Aid McKinstry type guy. But yeah, I think if the board falls this way, they're gonna go ahead and take Brian Thomas' call today.
I think so, yeah.
Now Cincinnati, I think they're overjoyed. I mean, you got tackles on the board. You got your Latham's, your Mims, your Fontenot, your Fuagas. You got all of them. You also got your Johnny Newton still on the board. You know, would y'all take Fuaga though? I feel like Marius Mims fits your offensive line. The way you built your tackles now, Marius Mims is your guy. He's only played 8 games. He's a developmental guy. You have your 2 starters this year.
I could see us taking Jackson Powers as well because we need a guard.
Yeah, but
badly.
I get that, but the report. He's never played in his life. So would you draft a guy and hope he develops there? That's a question mark. And also, supposedly nobody values those.
Could be.
You feel what I'm saying? So I'm saying, according to those guys, so that's I don't think those guys go. I feel like Jack Powers early.
Also, I can see us taking a corner.
I do too.
We take DBs very early.
But I'm saying
on the board.
Yeah, but he's, I don't know. In my opinion, I'm taking Kool-Aid over him. But that's just me. But I'm saying he might be your type of guy, but you're getting a scrawny, fast guy.
Yeah.
In him, right? So it's like, okay, what do you value? Johnny Newton's still on the board. If you want a pass rusher up the middle, but you got, like we talked about earlier, you got that. You have your talent. You have all your flavors, right?
Take Mims. Let's go.
I was about to say Mims seems like your type right now.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh likes Mims a lot, so once again, I feel like Pittsburgh could jump y'all if they wanted Mims that bad. But I think with all the tackles still on the board, Pittsburgh's not moving.
Yeah.
Now I think Laiatu stays in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Just how the board fall. I think they need that position a lot. Now if you're Pittsburgh, I think they're going for Waga easily at that point, right? Because they need a right tackle. They need a tackle. He's their type of guy, the Mauler type. Now here, it gets interesting because Jack Bar-Johnson might go here, but they lost Christian Wilkins. So just Johnny Newton landed in Miami. Or they value a Fontenelle, J.C. Latham type tackle.
Yeah, I could see all that.
So I'm saying here.
Or they could go with a Cooper DeJean.
Yes.
Somebody that's a playmaker.
Yeah, but I like their second. They did lose Xavier Worthy, so if anything, I feel like they would go with a true outside before they would go with Cooper, right?
Yeah.
Because you got Javon Holland, you got the safety position, right? They haven't listed safety. He's a corner. He's a joker. He does it all. But if the board falls like this, they'll probably go Johnny Newton, I would say. Or it's up to you. What do you think? I think in my opinion, between Johnny Newton or Wiggins, I think it's Wiggins or Newton in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Newton. Okay,
I like Newton the Texans as well. So that's why I was like, I'll leave him on the board. Okay, here I think this is another trade down spot.
Yeah.
I feel like a team like Buffalo might want to come up and get their Adonai Mitchells because that guy can go any pick before them.
Yeah.
So I want to make another trade here.
Yeah, they just signed Curtis Samuel.
Who?
Buffalo.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you think Curtis Samuel's not a 2. Curtis Samuel's a good 4. He's not even a 3. So I'm saying they need a 2. You really do, right? And I think Adonai Mitchell, Stephon Diggs, Curtis Samuel, Dawson Knox, and Dalton Kincaid, I think that's perfect right there. I think that's good enough in this league for sure. Now, what all do you have to give up?
I'd probably go 28, 128, and a third, maybe for 22.
Okay, let's see. Okay, they're gonna make it tough on us. Let's see. So 28. Let's go 128. Maybe 144. Third, 22.
Could be.
Wow. Hey, they're gonna value that pick. Hold on. Okay.
Well, the AI values it.
Yeah. Let's try it the other way and see if we can get it for that. Give you 22. Give us 28. 133. Third. 122. 128.
They said no. That's dumb.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, what's the logic behind it? Okay, maybe 28, 128, second for 22. That has to get done. Okay, there we go. Okay, that might not be the exact what they're going to do, but they're going to fucking move up. Okay, and they're going to go up and they're going to select Adonai Mitchell, take him off the board. I like that fit for them a lot. Now Arizona's back up. They still have 2 more picks. We had them taking Terrion Arnold here.
Go Chop here.
Yeah, I like Chop Robinson for them a lot. So, yeah, you can go ahead and take an elite athlete at the position.
So you would take
I think take Latham.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Now here, I think this Cooper DeJean. I think Cooper DeJean goes here. Get on playmaker in the secondary. I like that a lot for them. The Buccaneers, I think Fontenelle. I like that for them.
Yeah.
So because I think tackle, he can move in the guard. You can do a lot of different things with him. Now here again in Arizona, so now they have an edge rush. They have a corner. I think they need an offensive piece.
Could go Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, they could. Saying they value things different on this thing.
He's right there below.
Yeah. I see. I'm just thinking like.
I think they go receiver.
Yeah, but Coleman though, do you think they would go Worthy? So the current wide receiver core, is
Rondell Moore. No,
no,
they
he's
just traded
gone.
him.
Yeah, so who the fuck is the wide receivers in the Cardinals?
Exactly.
Yeah, but Xavier Worthy is not a 1. That's for fuck sure. You're not bringing in Worthy as a 1. If you want a guy to come in as a 1, Keon Coleman, I think Lab McConkey. He's a guy that can create space.
Because I think they go receiver.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
They don't have a number 1 receiver.
Okay. They have Michael Wilson. They lost Hollywood Brown. They lost Rondell Moore. Yeah, so they definitely need a wide out. So Keon Coleman. Okay, I see that. Now you fall back.
Take Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry here. I like that a lot for them. Now, this is a spot that's really intriguing for me. I think they take Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, could be Barton. We know Detroit take interesting players.
See, yeah.
Could be Jackson Powers as well.
No. I'm saying like they have no corners now because their corner just got locked up.
Yeah, that is
the
true.
cornerback 1 is locked up, so that's why it's a big need. And another edge rusher. So in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
I like Darius Robinson. Darius Robinson, I feel like he fits
but
there.
You probably go Nate Wiggins.
But if the board falls at this year, they'll probably go Nate Wiggins. Here, they need a receiver, but they're not taking Worthy at that pick. They do need a guard, and they need an edge rusher. If the board falls like
they have
this,
no offensive lineman. They could need a tackle too.
So I'm saying I think
traded their right tackle.
I think they go Graham Barton, who can play tackle as well.
Or Guyton.
Yeah, but I'm saying Barton's giving you versatility. You know, Barton played right tackle.
Yeah.
But Barton also a guard. They don't have a guard right now. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of tackles out there. But yeah, okay, Tyler Guyton, we'll go that. Now here, I think this is where Graham Barton goes off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him a lot there. And then here's Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, it kind of fits their scheme.
It fits what they want. I think that's their number 1 need right now. Rashi Rice going through what he's going through.
Yep.
I like this for them a lot. Now, day 2 has a fuck ton of talent.
Yep. You
got Josh Johnson, you got Michael Penix Jr. Full results, yeah. That's where the fun's gonna be. So yeah. I mean, I feel like we did perfect amount of trades. Could be more.
Yeah.
But
could definitely be more.
But at the same time, I think it was perfect. I think Caleb's gonna go 1. Mm-hmm. I think you can go ahead and get the jerseys
off the board first would be crazy. But
but everybody's mocking it, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's mocking that.
But that's crazy.
So this is definitely the board falls like this, man. Our favorite team.
Don't be shocked if Tennessee goes receiver because Brian Callahan said receiver.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I would be shocked because they have one of the highest cap hits on the 2 guys have highest cap hits on their entire roster of wide receivers right now. Yeah. And then they also have another first round pick. Yeah. Now it's not this regime's guys. But it's like you gave really a multi-year contract. You still have Burks for a few more seasons, but your number 1 guy right now, D-Hop, is only on a 1-year deal. So I could see that. But I mean, at this point, with the board falls like this, you take a Rome Odunze over that, maybe not. That's the thing. I like Rome Odunze a lot too, but you never know. Yeah. So some of my favorite picks. I like this one a lot. I like Byron Murphy to the Seahawks. Yeah. I like Quinyon Mitchell to the Colts is another good one. Kool-Aid to the Eagles. I think they could have took him at 22.
Packers just
yeah. I've seen that a lot too. Now it got tough for the Cardinals down here. This got tough, right? Because all the wide receivers went. But if you're the Bills, that's what you got to do, man. A.D. Mitchell is too fucking good to still be on the board.
Yeah.
And he could have went here at 23.
Yep.
He could have went 20. He could go 24. Like, don't be surprised if they take a wide receiver.
Yeah.
The right guys on the board, they only have CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup's gone.
Yep.
So it's like they really need another 2.
Yep.
This could be a wide receiver. They don't take wide receivers round 1, but like I mean, they don't have a star-studded wide receiver core. They need a 1. They have Christian Watson. They have Romeo Dobbs. They don't have Jaden Reed. They don't have a clear-cut 1. So that could be another receiver. This could be a receiver.
Yeah.
It could be. Right? Because I think Godwin's getting the end of his contract. They did extend my God.
Yeah, if you want a wideout, I think they're going to have to move up from 28 at Buffalo.
Yeah, I think all these teams are. If you want A.D. Mitchell, you're going to move.
Yep.
You want him? You want him? Go get him.
Yep.
Right? Me and my brother have been talking about the Lions. I think the Lions need another weapon. And but it opened my eyes. I actually kind of reneged that a little bit because it's like they do have a first-round wide receiver that just when he, which is Jameson Williams, first-round wideout. Yeah. He was hurt his first year. He tore his ACL in the college football playoff.
Got suspended.
So I mean, so that hurt his rookie year. Then he was suspended. It's supposed to be 8 games. Appealed, only got a 4 game. But I mean, the motherfucker was a big play machine, electric playmaker. Whenever he was in the game playing, And I'm around your wide receiver 1. He's another wide receiver that's going to be due for a $30 million contract. You have Jameson Williams, who's a big-time playmaker. He's going to make more plays, get him involved. They have a top 5 tight end in Laporta. You have the best running back duo in football. They don't need another weapon. I think their offensive line obviously is really good. So I think the thing with them is defense. I think the corner position is terrible. I think that because Cam Sutton was their number 1. Pittsburgh went through that, but they were willing to let him walk because he wanted too much money. You're not worth that. Your biggest calling card is your versatility.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay you to be a shutdown cornerback 1 when that's not your best thing. And now, obviously, legal troubles happened to him, man. But, hopefully everything with his situation is going fine. So now, the number 1 is Emmanuel Mosley coming off 2 ACL injuries back-to-back seasons. Yep. That's the number 1. I think corner for them is perfect. I think them getting their hands on a freak athlete like Nick Williams, that team could turn him to something.
Yeah.
So, I like that, too. Now, Kansas City, don't be surprised if they take Ladd McConkey over Xavier. I'm going to say that out there now. I think Ladd McConkey could be the surprise of the draft. I'm going to be shocked either way, right? Because I think he's first-round talent. He should go round 1. But he could also be a guy that falls to, let's say, 51 to Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh loves their offensive Georgia guys. They have Justin Fields, who is 1, technically. George Pickens. They have Roderick Jones, like Darnell Washington. They have a lot of Georgia guys. So that's a guy that can go there. He could fall. And if he's not falling past that pick, I can guarantee you that one. But Ladd McConkey's a guy that, that's my questionable pick. I think Xavier is good enough to go around 1. I think he should go around 1. I think Kansas City would want him. Hollywood Brown's only on a 1-year contract, so he is their type receiver. Yeah. But would you rather get a Ladd McConkey who has speed, who is 4'3", isn't 4'2", by any means, has speed, but he's a separator, gets open, sure-handed, things like that. So I think this wide receiver class is definitely the most intriguing. Yeah. I love our mock. We're definitely going to do another one. We are officially in the month of the draft. Yep. 23 days away. They're going to fly by, which means we'll probably do 3 more episodes before probably the next one. We will be live during the draft. Mm-hmm. It's going to be lit. It's going to be crazy. It always is. There's always things like the Caleb Williams going number 1. Go ahead. There's about, I'm lost. After pick 1, I have no fucking clue. I'm going to be honest because especially my own team. And your own team, we box in what we think they want, but at the same time, they've done such a good job in free agency of now they just need to upgrade the position. They don't. There's not a clear. Except Pittsburgh has center. They have no center on the roster, and they don't have wide receiver 2. But so to me, I'm so confused because they're spending time on these fucking corners, on these tackles. So what the fuck are we doing here, right? Yeah. But still, so you got all these teams that can go any direction, like. The Vikings, I think they're going to get a quarterback, but like we talking about the Titans, tackle. Yep. They might value wide receiver. Yep. What stops them from getting another edge? What stops them from getting Brock Bowers? What stops them from getting Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, right? And then there's going to be the shockers. Maybe teams value layout a lot so higher than we do. Maybe he goes to Atlanta, and we're like, what the fuck over Dallas Turner? That happens every single year. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think there was ever a year that. The positions we value them went in that order. Right. I don't think it ever, because Jahmyr Gibbs last year caught everybody off guard. He was worth the 12th overall pick. Bijan caught. But we had traction that they liked him. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs, we had no traction that Detroit was even interested in him, and he went 12th. Yeah. And they were about to take him at 6. Yeah. They were about to take him at 6, and they was like, we would move down, and then you watched it live. They were so scared that he was going to go. And all of us are like, there's no way he's going first round, right? Like, maybe he goes to Philly or Kansas City at the end, but none of us thought he was going top 10 picks, and they were scared he wasn't going to fall to 12. And then they took, nobody thought linebacker was going to go first round. They took fucking Jack Campbell. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's why once again, I definitely see them taking like a Darius Robinson, right, out of Missouri, the edge rusher / D lineman, because it's position of need and it's a player that nobody's talking about. Right. Yeah, so this is going to be a crazy year. Yeah. In my opinion, the sweet spot is going to be day 2. I think, which we said that last year, and I think it was. I think your Joey Porter Jr. started the day off. Mm-hmm. I think Will Levis was a great pick for the Titans. Now looking back, obviously your Brian Branch, 2nd-round pick. Mm-hmm. Your Laporta, 2nd-round pick. I think that day 2, which arguably you could say Cincinnati's best rookie was the day 2 pick in Jordan Battle. Like I'm saying, so far as a rookie year, you're probably the highest on Jordan Battle out of everybody. Yep. So we said day 2 was the sweet spot of last year's draft. I think it is this year too, bro, because I think, especially with because of how many quarterbacks could go round one, that's gonna make other positions fall, like your centers, like your tight ends, your corners. Like this class is known for its depth. There's gonna be more Pukas. You know, there's gonna be some Tariq Woollens. There's going to be some day 3 selections that are going to be instant impacts on rosters, and bro, that's great for fans. You know, that's great for us. But we'll go ahead and we'll get out of here. This was our mock draft 1.0 together.
Yep.
We'll probably try to get maybe 2 more out.
Yep.
Because top 30 visits and stuff like that are coming out, so we'll see what teams are interested in. Late free agent signings are on the way. Trades are on the way. And another thing I want to talk about on the next one, we will get into our top 5 position rankings on the defense, and I want to talk about some players that could get traded on draft night.
Could be.
Because your Brandon Ayuk's, maybe your T. Higgins, those guys are all going to be in play in talks. Obviously, we don't know anything, but there's a lot of talk, stuff like that that will come out, so we'll get into that on the next episode, and we'll catch y'all then. Peace.